We are living in a time of strange economic contradictions. 12 million people are unemployed in our country, 1.3 million of them in California, more than 150,000 right here in the Bay Area. It hasn't been this bad since the Great Depression. Yet the stock market is booming. Venture capitalists are making millions of dollars overnight in Silicon Valley video games. For a few, it's the best of times. For many more, it's the worst. The growing number of homeless people has become a national disgrace. There are now an estimated 2 million homeless Americans, many of them nomads wandering the country searching for work, living out of cars, like this self-styled Reaganville near the railroad tracks in Berkeley. In the past, the homeless of San Francisco were invisible, or rather unnoticed by those with jobs and shelter. But by last fall, it was impossible to ignore the hundreds of people huddled every night in the doorways of the Tenderloin and other run-down neighborhoods.
Welcome to San Francisco.
The emergency food line at St. Anthony's has grown alarmingly. Nearly 2,000 people a day come here to eat. And other emergency food, clothing, and shelter charities in the Bay Area tell the same story. They're swamped.
We have a lot more people with emotional problems. A lot of people who've been dumped out of the mental health system, literally with a handful of Thorazine, and dumped on the streets.
As their numbers grow, the poor and destitute are beginning to organize. Just before Thanksgiving, hundreds of homeless people marched on City Hall to press demands for emergency housing.
Don't be alone. Give me a house. Don't be alone. Give me a house.
The mayor's office responded with promises of increased funding for emergency shelters and with one Band-Aid gesture, which backfired. When 4 disabled muni-buses were parked downtown and offered as a place to sleep, no one had really thought through the likely consequences. No supervision was provided. When 2 of the buses in the Tenderloin were inevitably vandalized, Mayor Feinstein ordered the buses towed away, evicting about 75 homeless people without warning. Not all of them went quietly. The mayor recently launched a major fundraising drive to aid the homeless. She reported that 900 people a night are now sleeping at churches and hospitality houses in the city. But there are still many homeless people on the streets at night. Mr. Fairbanks, how was the auction today?
It was pretty good on the whole. The expensive things sold very well, and they did, in fact, better than we anticipated. We sold a painting by Nikolai Fetchin that we expected $20,000 to $25,000 for $50,000.
Fairbanks likes to say that San Francisco's sophisticated upper class spends its old money on the ballet, opera, and fine art, while the nouveau riche executives of Silicon Valley are more gauche.
People with a lot of new money, the first thing they're interested in maintaining is their body, then come their clothes, their sports car, and down the range comes the swimming pool and the furniture around the swimming pool, the house, and then maybe it comes to the art.
Gauche or not, the Silicon Valley crowd is indulging itself in a sports car buying spree, according to this Ferrari dealership in Los Gatos.
Well, we seem to be getting quite a few of the Silicon Valley set. Heads of companies, people who are self-made, you know.
During the last 6 months, Ferrari of Los Gatos has had 3 record sales months despite the severe recession. Some buyers have been known to fork over $80,000 cash on the spot.
Sometimes they do, yes. Real green dollars. Well, we have ups and downs, but I don't think the economy really affects it. Things like the weather and holidays, things like that. But we're virtually unaffected by the economy, it seems like.
What we see in this recession, which I think is going to be characteristic of future recessions, is that all of us are suffering.
John Wilson is Senior Vice President and Chief Economist at the Bank of America.
It's really hit the middle class. It's hit the middle managers, it's hit the service employees, as hard as it's hit the blue-collar worker.
Not only is the middle class losing the comfort of job security, it is also losing its traditional American dream, owning a home. Housing analyst Dick Legates.
Over the next couple of years in the Bay Area, I think we're in for very rough times in housing. Prices are up, rents are up, little is being built, demand is great. Those are the conditions for tough times and real struggle.
And so what we're going through is the process of redefining that dream. Rather than living in the 3 or 4 bedroom house in the suburbs, we'll be living in condominiums and more dense housing. Rather than having 3 or 4 children, we're scaling back and having 2 children on average. You're seeing more families living together, more single families, more female-headed families, massive social and economic adjustments in that dream.
There have always been haves and have-nots in our society, but today in our country, and right here in the Bay Area, the line between rich and poor is more sharply etched. For every Silicon Valley success story, there is another plant shutdown in the East Bay. For every owner of a new luxury condominium, there are a score of homeless. Our system has been remarkably resilient despite the strain of economic crisis. But how far can society be pulled in opposite directions before it tears?